Welcome back to MS Live right here on MS24 TV with yours truly, Mac Moten, and I have my next guest in the studio, and she goes by the name Veana Negasi. Drum roll. Veana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw you was you did a show at the gallery, and I was there, and it was very beautiful.
Thank you.
And you were doing some music covers. But even your music journey, you started doing music covers.
Yeah, I started with covers,
Yes, because you have done a lot of covers.
I have.
From MTN Hitmaker.
Yes.
And doing music covers. So what pushed you, what informed that decision to get into doing music covers?
I just love singing, and I would just sing other people's songs. And my friends would be like, but like, it's like it's most of the times it would be a female rendition of a song. Like a female version of this wouldn't be bad, you know. Like, and I kept getting that over the years. So I was like, you know, let's try this, and it worked really well. Okay.
So during that period, did you wanted to do music professionally, or was it just for fun?
I wanted to do it.
Okay.
But because of circumstances, I wasn't able to. But I wanted to do it. I love music, so for me, it was like, okay, you know, why not?
Was it that the time is not right, I'm not confident enough, so let me start with the music covers, and if the time is appropriate, then I do like proper music, my own music?
Unfortunately for me, the people I was with were not really willing to take it full time. That was a constraint.
Okay.
But I started the covers on my own, and I got some help along the way.
Okay.
But at some point, I wanted to be full time. It just didn't pan out that way for me. But everything happens for a reason. I'm here now.
Okay,
so, you know.
okay. That's very cool. But what made you go for MTN Hitmaker?
I don't even know how that happened. I just want to, like, I don't know if I'm super competitive even in that sense, but I don't know how it happened. I think it was just like one of those effort moments. Okay. I was like, okay, let me give this a try. And I don't know if it was recommended to me or I just proposed it. I don't know.
Okay. But is there anything you learned from that show, that reality show?
I learned a few things.
Okay.
I didn't get too far in it to really learn the technicalities of music and the industry and whatnot, but I went in and I learned how to like sort of coexist with people. I learned about like the fact that talent is not enough, because there's a lot of talented people that go on for these competitions. Okay. So something needs to stand out. Okay. You know, so there's a few mindset. Okay. You know.
So what makes Veana unique? What makes your style different from others, from your peers?
Just me. I think everybody brings their individual personality to their brands or their message or whatever. My message is different because my experiences will differ from your experiences. Okay. So what makes me unique is my personality. I'm super quirky. I'm super animated. Okay. I have such depth of personality. That's what I get told at least. So I'm trying to make that translate in my music more. Okay. Most people can't tell by my music who I am behind the music. So, okay. Yes.
So who are you behind the music? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. That's very cool. But a lot of people don't know that you were a TV host. Yes. You did a show, I don't want to mention the name of the TV station, 3 Tunes and stuff like that. What made you get into TV hosting?
It was also another opportunity that was presented to me, and I love speaking as well. So speaking, singing, I write, like it's just naturally speaking. And so it was presented to me. I was like, why not? Okay. My mentor at the time was like, I think you should do it. And I also thought it would be a good learning opportunity.
And who was your mentor?
Richie.
Okay.
Yes. So I thought it would also be a good learning opportunity for me. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And I learned a lot from that show as well. Okay.
So you were under Lens Entertainment?
I was with Lens.
Okay. So why didn't you sign with the record label back then?
It didn't happen. Just didn't happen.
Wow, after the covers and everything, the grooming, is there any backstory to it that it didn't happen?
There's not much of a backstory, you know, nothing I can share, but it just didn't pan out.
Okay. That's very cool. So how long have you been doing music professionally?
Full time. This year marks 4 years.
4 years? Yes. Okay, and how's the journey been so far?
Oh, it's been an uphill climb, to say the least. It's been an uphill climb. Okay. But yeah, a lot of lessons have been learned also again. Okay. Everything happens for a reason.
Okay. Again. So what are some of the lessons you have learned in the industry?
Team is very important.
Okay.
Team. I don't know who's watching, but if you feel like you're talented, you have a voice, you have whatever, You
need a solid
people,
team.
You need the team and people you can trust. That's also key.
Okay.
People you can trust, a team that you know, like they genuinely have your back. You need
Okay.
that. Pray for that. Work for that as well, because it's very important.
Okay.
You need to come in with as much field of knowledge as possible about
Okay.
the industry, about even music itself, what it takes to put on music, you know, because it's not just the music, there's like documentation behind it. You have to distribute the music.
Yeah.
There's so much, as much information as you can get before you come into it, I would say is more ideal.
Okay.
Yes.
So since we are talking about the team,
Yes.
right now, would you say you have problem with trust issues?
I have major trust issues.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
why? What caused it?
I have my trust
Because I
issues
saw
go
your
deep.
statement on your IG page, and we are going to get into that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the trust issues. Why do you have like major problem when it comes to trust issues?
You know, you can be real with people and then they're not real with you back.
Okay.
I think I always knew that, but a few incidents have reinforced that for me. That's like, bro, people out here are looking out for themselves.
Wow.
It's not really about you, you know. And that's another reality that most of us need to talk about. Like, people need to know that it's not as rosy as we make it look. Like, you know, I'm glammed, I'm sitting here, but I'm having like to reshuffle my team.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. What you're saying is very, very deep. Is very, very
Quite.
deep. With the team and with everything, with your statement, everything you posted, I think it's something we really have to delve into it. So right now, that means you are searching for a new team, or you have a new team.
I'm building a team. I won't say I'm
team.
searching. I'm building a team. I currently have a manager who's my cousin, and I'm building a team as we go steadily. And the right people are coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will you say there is no friend in the industry?
Oh, you can have some friends.
Okay.
I have some friends.
Okay.
G Black is my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say Paul is my friend.
Okay.
Derobi is my friend. I have friends in the industry.
Few friends.
I have a few friends, yes.
Okay. Okay. So what informed your decision to put out that statement?
I just had to, because I was hearing a lot of things back, and I didn't want anything that would taint my brand and my image. So I had to put a message to disassociate myself from, you know, said person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, as Veana said, right now he's building a new team. So whatever you saw at her page, everything, you have to reach out to her personally. Yes. So on what platform can they reach out to you? Oh,
on Instagram, all my socials, but even via the press release, I put my cousin, my manager's contact. Okay. His information is there, the email is there. If you reach him, you reach me.
Okay. Literally. So that's the number they can reach out.
Yeah, that's the number they can. Or just even my DMs. I reply my DMs and stuff.
Okay, that's very cool. So let's get back into the music.
Yes.
I know you released your debut single, which was 2022, Get Down.
Get Down. Okay. Oh, yeah, very informed.
let's get into that song. What influenced you? What inspired you to make that song?
Get Down was just a fun piece. I was in the studio with Beat God. He played the beat. I think he played the beat in the session. And we were like, let's create a happy song. I'm a happy girl, you know, happy go lucky. Let's create a cheerful song, and that's what we did.
Okay.
I think we created it that very session, or maybe the next session. Okay. Everything happened really fast.
So who produced the beat?
That's Beat God.
That Beat God.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been working with him?
I've worked with him now for say 5 years.
Okay. Yeah. And 2023, you dropped Unapologetic.
No apologies.
No apologies. Yeah, sorry. Okay. 2023.
Yes.
The EP. Was it 5 songs?
There were 5 songs.
5 songs. Okay. Let's talk about that one too.
Yeah.
Ever since you dropped that EP, I've not seen you drop any couple of projects.
Oh, I dropped
singles, but
singles, yes.
Yeah, but like body of work. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that project.
Yeah.
What inspired it? What was the ideology behind it? And what inspired the title?
No apologies, because I was transitioning from a business relationship.
Okay.
And within the same music context, and it didn't go well. You know, with people that, it didn't go well. They didn't prioritize, just didn't place a priority on me the way I expected, like my team and I expected. There was too much chaos for me. So I walked out of that, and that message was just me defying. It was a message of defiance and independence, a declaration of independence. Okay. That I'm going to make no apologies for being Veana. I just want to do my thing. At this point, like, I'm tired of it. I just want to do my thing. Even if that means I'm going to be independent my whole career, that's what I would do. Yeah.
All right. I know you are very talented, but you think at times people just feel like she's just a pretty face, that's it, but maybe there's no more to the talent. Do you think at times people feel that way, that, okay, she's just pretty, but when it comes to talent-wise, she's not really there?
I think people recognize the talent But oftentimes, most women, most of us, will get we're narrowed down to what the physical
Attributes.
Attributes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm not the only person that's going through this. Okay. Like, it's like, oh, you're pretty, and people don't see beyond that. There's just so much more. Especially me, I'm very multifaceted. That most people wouldn't know. It's those that are close to me that would know. But it's fine. You know, it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at time, does it worry you a bit, or right now you have overcome that?
It doesn't worry me at all.
Okay.
It's not a me problem. Respectfully, it's not a me problem. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are very talented. You are very pretty. Has any record label approached you so far? That okay, Veana, I want to sign you. I've listened to a couple of your musics and it's very dope, and we want to sign you.
I've had a few offers.
Okay.
Let's say 2 offers, not major labels as well, and they're all indigenous, like local labels. But yeah, I have.
So what made you turn it down? Is it that the deal doesn't look juicy? What was the problem? Because a lot of artists right now are coming out to complain that I signed a deal, they owe my image right, there's that. Like, what was the major problem for you?
I just think as much as being independent is tough, because you have to do a lot of things yourself, I'm with it, I'm fine. I'm enjoying my independence. I have creative agency of my sound, my music, my look, feel. Like, it's a lot of work, like I said, but I'm currently in the space where I'm enjoying it. I'm building my team as well, so we would have capacity to handle it as things get bigger, hopefully. So I just want to be like this for a while.
Okay.
I want to be independent. I don't want the chaos that comes sometimes with signing. Sometimes you can get into a bad situation, and I've been in a couple situations. So for now, it's like if you're in a relationship for too long, and the relationships don't go well, you just want to be single to breathe.
Okay.
I feel like I'm single right now. I'm just breathing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But if any offer comes in the near future, you're ready to go through and see if it's
in the near future we can assess where we're at and see.
So right now you see what is going on with Chrisiata, with the team. From your perspective, can you share a bit of knowledge about it? What do you think?
I have a lot of opinions on it.
Okay, so share. Tell us.
And my point of view is, as an artist, obviously I'm not as big as Chrissy or whatever, but it's easy for people to sit there and judge. I saw a lot of people tweeting that, people sign desperate deals and stuff. Bear in mind, most of these artists, when they're starting out, they are not at the pinnacle you see them on. Like, he wasn't a Kwesi Arthur when he started. A lot of people get into these deals because they need to survive, so, and also because of a lack of awareness and knowledge, they might sign deals, they don't even have lawyers.
Okay.
They don't even have a legal team to say, okay, let me let someone look over the fine print. So it can happen to the best of us. A lot of people are like, oh, you don't want to, artists are stingy. First of all, a lot of artists don't have the amount of money to maybe put a lawyer on a retainer. There's so much dimension to the conversation, and I don't like the fact that people aren't coming into the conversation with empathy for the artists. They just think that, artists, it's like this sort of hate, it's like you deserve it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But do you think the industry as a whole, the industry players need to put maybe music seminars so they educate emerging artists or upcoming artists to have knowledge about it?
I think that's also being done. Also, we're in the age of AI.
Okay.
Information is very accessible to all of us. You don't need someone to put money together and organize an event for you to be educated. You can educate yourself, pretty much.
Yeah, for real.
You can even just send it to like ChatGPT, whatever, and it will analyze, give you as much of a summary as you want.
So what if you take all this knowledge, as you said, like right now you're funding everything on your own. Maybe you are doing your side business. Yeah. Maybe with Artist B, he's not doing any side business. The main goal is the music. So maybe out of desperation, or maybe you might not understand, or maybe you might not be enlightened about what we are talking about. Maybe you might not access the internet to see that, okay, A, B, C, or D, if I do this, everything will be right for me. And he doesn't do that, and maybe he's desperate. Probably maybe he might sign to the deal. And
that's the truth of it. Yeah, that's the reality of it. Some people get advanced. So maybe if I was in a situation where I'm impoverished, I need to take care of my siblings or whatever, and somebody brings me a deal and they're advancing me even 20,000 CDs. In that moment, even though it's short-term thinking, in that moment, that money can save my life because I need to survive today. And that's the position that a lot of people are in at the time of the deals when they are signing them, So I see how that can happen. I have empathy for it because I don't know if it's because I'm an artist, but it's something that happens a lot.
From artist's point of view, you truly understand what they go through.
I kind of understand.
Okay. But at times people might say that you knew what you were signing for. The record label maybe explained some one or two things to you, and you were fully aware of what you were signing. It's not like we forced you to sign the deal. That's what maybe the record label too might say as well.
What I am advocating for is that artists, especially when you're on the come up and you don't really have funding like that, if you can, don't make it your full-time job like music, the pursuit of music. Don't make it the only thing you do. Like you wake up and that's all. If you can find a job that at least you know that you have your basic needs, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. You have your basic needs. You have a place to sleep, so that you're not in a desperate position. Here you will get some food to eat.
Okay.
If you can elevate your stance a little bit with a job, your income can be at a steady place. You can go into it with a better POV. Okay. Yes, this is what I keep telling people, because even me, I'm working to fund my music.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be in a place where now, like, I need it so bad, and somebody's going to present me a deal that I'll end up signing. Okay.
So, Veana, do you own your own masters, your own music, everything?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do have an executive producer who we have a deal, we have an agreement.
Okay, that's very good. That means you have access to everything. Yes. So, right now, would you say comfortably, at least you are earning a bit from the music, from the streams and everything?
No, I'm not.
Wow. So which country stream your music the most?
The last time I checked, I saw some Nigeria. I see different countries. I see Ghana. I see some European countries. I see a US. I have a lot of friends in the US. I think they're helping me. They're helping me stream my music, and they've been spreading. I know my friends have been sharing my music as well. So I saw America. South America too. Okay.
But do you think Ghanaians are not appreciating your music more because of the stuff? Because you are very talented.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you feel like we are not showing much appreciation when it comes to your music?
I think I haven't given them no choice. I think sometimes it's like you have to put it in everyone's face. I haven't put it in as many people's faces as possible to say, oh, Ghanaians. Because with 30 million people, I don't think I've distributed my music across 30 million people, to say that. So to be fair to the audience, I need to do a better job of marketing the music. Okay. So as many people as possible can listen and decide if it's for them or not.
Okay. Veana, you said something that was very, very interesting to me. You said, like, right now you're not earning much from the music. But why do you keep doing it? What pushes you to keep doing music?
It's just a passion. I genuinely love music, and I see it as self-expression as well.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people that send me messages, and it's like, oh, they really like me. Even if it's for 5 people that
listen to your music.
And it does something for them. It heals them. It makes them happy. It does something for them. I think it's worthwhile me trying. This is my mindset for music. Okay. And for me, it's my happy place. When I'm in the studio recording, writing music, I love it so much. It's like, why not?
Okay. But it's very broad. Like, with the shows, booking for sessions and stuff like that, shooting music videos.
Yes.
It's a lot. So where do you get the money to fund it?
I work. I'm running my dad's company. I have a couple other companies as well. So yeah, I'm able to fund it. Not crazy funding. Okay. There's standard things. I'm able to afford rehearsal with my band. I'm able to do that. Okay. Basic.
But that means you need an investor.
I would like one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like one. Yeah.
Okay, that's very cool. So let's get into the new song, Verse, the remix.
The remix.
Because these artists are very talented. D Black, the Enjoyment Minister, and Paul. Now, these are artists you can record a new song with them. What made you decide to put them on the remix to Verse?
So D heard the song and he's like, this is a really nice. He really likes the song. Okay. And he's like, he wants to do something on it. I'm like, oh, that'd be really nice. We have 2 songs. One his that's out already. Mine.
That's on Ghana Visa.
The Ghana, yeah. I have one with him that we've not yet released. Hopefully that comes out this year. Okay. But we have 2 songs. He's like, oh, you want to jump on this? I'm like, perfect. And he put Paul now, and I was like, that's great. That's just a complete meal right there. Okay. Yeah.
Is it your personal story? Because it's about love. Is it your personal story?
It is.
Right now, where is your headspace? Where are you right now?
I'm hustling. Yes.
And single or... Right now.
I'm single, I'm hustling, I'm grinding. Please, I'm logged in and grinding.
Because the video was very, you look very cheerful.
No, because I wrote that song years ago.
Wow.
I wrote that song years ago. I started writing it, and then Kitty helped me finish writing. So I actually wrote the song with Kitty.
So you co-wrote the song with Kitty?
Yes. So I started the Make Them Vex, I go be fight for your matter. And he wrote, I think the chorus was him, a bunch of it. We wrote the song together.
So which year was that?
This might be 2021.
2021.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So why did it take you that long to put the song out?
I have quite a number of songs. And like you said, I've not really been consistently releasing. So because of that, like the frequency is not favoring me too much. So it's like it takes a while for the song. But this year, that's what I'm working on. I want to consistently release music. But that song, I wrote in the situation where I was in love with somebody. That's why it feels that way.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But right now, dear Charlie, aura for aura.
Aura for aura. Good for good.
Okay. But who produced the song?
This was produced by Say Beats.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Your
That's very
producer.
cool. That's very cool. So this year, what's your goal? What should we expect from Veana?
This year, I want to do a lot of performing because people like when and I like performing. I like the live experience, the interaction. My shows are super nice, super interactive, and a lot of people are hoping to attend more of my shows. So more performing, more consistent releases. I want to do a project. I'm currently working on a project, a body of work.
Should we expect any potential collaboration with any A-list artists?
A-list, yes, we're working on some things.
So you mentioned D Black.
Yes.
So apart from D Black, which other artists?
Oh, I have friends in the industry, so I'll hit up somebody, whoever is willing to jump on it. You see, the thing is, me, I don't kill myself for things. Like, I'll hit up people. If it's aligned to work, it'll work. Okay, so let's talk about my favorite song on your EP, Bad Man Killer. The video was very dope. Who shot the video? Banini.
Okay.
The current video director of the year, TGME.
Okay. Yes. Wow. So Bad Man Killer, what was the concept of the song?
That song, I was vexed when pun intended. I was mad when I was writing the song.
Why? What was the cause of it?
I was just sick of some stuff. Like,
what stuff?
Some bad energy. People were trying to bring bad energy my way. Same music industry business.
Wow.
And I wrote it about them. So I wrote it about someone in particular.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So right now, what's your highlight? What have you achieved so far? Because you have been doing music professionally for 4 years. Right now, what can you boast of that? Okay, I'm very proud of this moment.
I would say the audience. I have even though it's a small community, it's a solid community. I have people that really love my music and would attend my shows. Who attend my shows actually. I'm proud of the community I've built through music, and I'm hoping to expand that this year and the coming years.
Okay.
I love the people.
Okay. Yeah. Like, you know what? There's a guy in the studio. He loves your music a lot.
He does.
So I hope right now you have dropped the bad energy. There's no any bad energy.
There's no bad energy again.
Okay.
We have cleared the space.
Okay. So Isaac, you heard it. She's dropping more music this year, so don't worry.
Isaac, please stream.
Yeah, but come more show.
Yeah.
Come for your show. Oh, I go come.
Okay.
I go come.
I'll invite you.
Yeah, we do for it. At the same place or different location?
Oh, different that place, no.
No.
We do other locations.
Okay. So last words to your fans.
Hi everyone, it's Veana Negasi. Thank you so much for supporting me all these years, and it's been nice chatting with you.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys can find me across socials at Veana Negasi, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, everywhere. Find me and just send me a message. I like to chat with the people that listen to my music. So find me and send me something. Send me a message. Let's chat. Yeah,
it was a nice conversation. Nice talking to you.
Same here.
And thanks for enlightening the people watching the show about management, about record label, everything. So guys, Charlie, you just heard from Veana Negasi. He's out with a new song, No Verse, featuring D Black and Paul. Now you can check it out on all streaming platforms and add to your playlist. And this year, she's going to give us back-to-back music. So guys, fingers crossed. Guys, I go by the name Mac Moten. You can follow us on socials, MS24GH, hashtag MSLife. You can follow me as well, Mac_Moten. Love conquers all. Catch you on the other side. Peace. I'm out.